But let's now focus on Godrej Consumer Stock. This is a company that has been consolidating its presence in Africa. The company recently purchased 100% stake in this company. It's an African hair company, Darling's hair extension business in Ghana. Godrej had already acquired 51% stake in the African company Darling Group in 2011, and it has operations in 14 countries in Africa. And now Godrej has 100% stake in their hair extension business in Ghana and Nigeria. We caught up with the management at Godrej Consumer Products, and we spoke with Mr. Vivek Gambhir, MD at GCPL. We asked him about the reason for going for 100% stake in Darling, Ghana, and this is what he had to say.
You know, the acquisition of 100% stake in Ghana is part of our continued strategy to scale up our presence in sub-Saharan Africa. So Ghana gives us presence in the 7th country in Africa. These include Nigeria, Mozambique, South Africa, Kenya, and Tanzania. Ghana is the 7th one. A few months ago, we acquired 100% stake in Nigeria. So this is a step to further consolidate our presence in Africa. We remain very excited about our African hair extensions business. We are the market leaders there. Ghana, along with Nigeria, is also part of ECOWAS, the Economic Community of West African States. So this stake will also help us drive more synergies between our Nigeria and our Ghana business.
What is the growth in the hair business in Nigeria and Ghana?
The market, to our estimates, is growing at mid to single high digits. Our business is growing at low double digits.
Also, would you look to acquire full control of Darling Group's hair business in other countries, or perhaps increase stake in Darling Group Holdings itself?
Yeah, you know, this is part of our continued strategy to scale up our business. And so over the next 2 or 3 years, we intend to control the full Darling operation. So this is a phased acquisition. It's allowing us to gain learnings and integrate each of the countries. But definitely over the next few years, we intend to gain full control of the Darling Group businesses in Africa.
Did you see any kind of an impact of Ebola virus on your African business?
You know, we remain very watchful, and we've of course put in all the necessary processes in place to take precautions for our employees. In our current footprint, the only place where there could be an impact is Nigeria. We are not present in some of the other countries, but within Nigeria also there has been no risk to our business, but this is something we remain very watchful about.
Right, we'll do a slight detour. NIT Limited, the education company, has come out with its earnings. Right, let's return to our conversation that we were having with Godrej Consumer on the African business. We also asked them about how their, the soaps division is going to benefit by the falling palm oil prices. Let's listen into what Mr. Gambhir had to say.
So, you know, the good news now is that our soap business is on a nice recovery path. And so I think we are reporting and seeing good results from our soap business. We've also launched a very exciting innovation, Synthol Confidence Plus, which is our foray in the germ protection space. In general, falling palm oil prices means that we will be able to hopefully show better profits from this division over the next couple of quarters. The one thing to be watchful about is that typically when palm oil prices come down, we do see a certain higher level of promotional intensity, and we do see increased competition from local and regional players. So that's something for us to be cautious about. But overall, I think our soap business has recovered nicely, and we're fairly optimistic about the prospects of the business over the next couple of quarters.
Can you tell us how much will the margins expand in the soaps business?
You know, it's going to help improve our gross margins by about 200 basis points.
All right. Any special product launches for this festival period?
You know, this is an area where a lot of it depends on palm oil prices. And so over the next 6 months, you know, our current belief is that the palm oil pricing scenario will remain relatively benign, and palm oil prices could even come down in the future. If prices for palm oil come down, I don't expect us to raise prices. and we will focus on stimulating demand in this category. But again, a lot will depend on what happens to palm oil prices. The idea again would be not to increase margins, but to take price increases to protect our margins. But again, over the next couple of quarters, based on our current knowledge, I don't expect to see price increases in the soaps category.
All right, so that was the pricing strategy for soaps that the company is going to follow. So certainly no big price increases coming. Now, when we asked Mr. Gambhir about the demand outlook and what kind of growth is the company expecting in FY15, then this is what he had to say.
The overall environment still seems subdued, but we are beginning to see the first early signs of recovery. I don't think we are out of the woods yet, but if you look at data for the home and personal care sector, which is where we participate in for August growth rate for home and personal care for the sector was about 4.5%. Now for Q1, the growth rate was around 3%. So these are not growth rates that we get excited about, but I think the good news here is that we are beginning to start seeing the corner being turned around, and we are very confident and optimistic that the second half of the year will be much better than the first half of the year.
All right, so there you heard the management of GCPL talking about their business outlook and quite confident about some strong growth in the second half of the year. The stock is currently up close to 2.5% or so. We are slipping into a very short break at this point in time, but lots of managements lined up after that as well. Stay with us.